cars in Morristown, New Jersey. This is a 1987 959. There are approximately 18 in the country right now. They're owned by people like Bill Gates. Seinfeld has one. Ralph Lauren has one. It's a very exclusive car. They're impossible to find. They're impossible to get. It is a car that was built in 1987. The production run was from 1986 to 1989. They made approximately 300. Very rare to get into the country. One of those things that was kind of under the cover of darkness as this one kind of came in. It's the first Porsche that Porsche ever built that was all-wheel drive. It was the first Porsche that was built with a twin turbo. It was the first 6-speed. It was the first tire monitoring system. Run flat tires were built for this car. It was the first, this is the first street car with a carbon fiber body. It's a carbon fiber chassis. It has a motor that was used in the Indianapolis project for the Indy cars in 1988. They had that car that was banned from Indy because it was a little too fast. It has an engine that in 1987, the regular 911 would have had a 214 horsepower motor, which was very fast in 1987. In 1987, the turbo was 286 horsepower, which was extremely fast in 1987. And this had 450 horsepower, which was sick fast in 1987. The motor was developed from a 2.8-liter motor that was used again in the Indy project. It is a car that was the first car with license plates on it that Porsche would make for street use that went almost 200 miles an hour. It was north of 190. It was the first car with zero lift. The aerodynamics under the car and above the car designed for zero lift. First 6-speed, the first car with their first 911 with ABS. It was the first 911 with power steering. It was the test bed for all Porsches. Any trick that they could possibly do was put into this car, and each car was a test bed for future Porsches. The car was built at Weissach, not Stuttgart. The car was built as there were two built in one room at one time. Parts were brought to it. It did not come down an assembly line. It was handmade from one end to the other. And then it was brought out on the track at Weissach and shaken down. And people that got this car had to be a very special friend of Porsche. You were either a Formula One driver, you were a king of some country, a rock star. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin had one of these in purple. So each person that had some pretty strange or exceptional credentials. This is probably one of this is the holy grail of Porsche. There are new cars that are coming out now that obviously top it, but for a car from the 80s, this is as advanced as it gets, and it's still advanced for what they would have as their cars today. And it's a privilege to be behind the wheel of it today. Anyway, that's it.
Awesome. John, I have a few questions though. How many years have you owned this car?
It is actually a very good friend of mine who owns this car, and he's asking me to sell it for him. It's a two-owner car.
Really?
Its first owner was in Boca Raton, Florida, then Boulder, Colorado, and now it is here in New Jersey, available, one of the few in the country, if any in the country, or world for that matter, that are for sale right now.
And do you know if any awards have been earned?
Oh, this was first at the Porsche Parade. This was always flown in by Porsche to their tent for any of their events. The 50-50, the Rhine Sport Reunion down at Daytona. Any big event, this was in the tent. This was Porsche's crown jewel, and this was put on display at any of their big events. So on the cover you'll see, around that windshield you'll see, this was the cover car of Porsche Panorama, and it's a very well-known car.
Yeah, it is. It's been on Top Gear in the UK. Do you mind showing the engine?
It's a sequential turbo. as opposed to a single or double turbo.
And not to say, I know they have a couple of corners there, but I would tell you it's got an 08. Yeah, the 08. Blue with cashmere. I have a friend who just bought he drove that car for a week. He bought a Carrera S that they had a good car. Really? Yeah. And
Excuse me, John. Do you mind turning it on?
It's very quiet. You're going to hear nothing.
Oh, really?
It's a very quiet car. It does not have a raspy sound at all because it's feeding through some pretty serious turbos and exhaust, so it's very quiet. It is also has height adjustable suspension, automatic and manual. Has tunable shocks, three-way tunable shocks. First time for Porsche on either of those. It is advanced and as high-tech as you can get. You can see the carbon body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they were seats.
And how many miles does this have?
37,000 kilometers, which is about 24,000 miles.
That's a rarity right there.
Pretty good.
It has quite a bit of
Much better than anything you see today. Is he a Porsche dealer or something like that?
Anything about the interior?
Full leather. Back in '87, they didn't even have a leather dashboard. It has a leather dash. They actually lacquer the interior so that the silver tones come out a little bit more. So it's got a clear coat on the leather so that it actually
You don't man.
it actually has a clear coat on the leather to bring the silver tones out.
Oh, wow, okay.
It was the first one with a console too. All 911s did not have that console.
He's an M3 guy. We've got two.
Oh yeah, cool. Those are great. Yeah, they really are.
He's got 46. You'll see it. He's got the wing on.
Oh, sure, I know. Yeah. Exactly. It's amazing how willing he will be to.
No, it's all good fun. It's all good fun.
Oh, good luck with that. But yeah, don't feel bad. When you take him out,
I know. Well, that's the thing. I'm like, bro, it's throwing them out.
Yep.
That's faster.
What? Well, that thing is. No, that. Yeah, I mean, that's the fastest car I've ever.
That's
Have you been in that?
Why not since he's modified it?
Oh, well, I mean, it's.
I know.
An unmodified. Unmodified is not.
Yeah, no, I know that.
No, but that is. It's a big. It's a widowmaker, frankly. Didn't want to get too close.
Get some body part.
It looks better than like on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fact that it's here, getting it here is 90% of the game. So having it in this country is, the ones that are overseas are not as expensive. Yes. Sparingly used. And both by enthusiasts that knew exactly what it was. And
how to take care of it. Yeah. Oh, the condition. I mean, looking at it. I guess it's nice when Porsche had stand on it a few times. I imagine they make sure it's perfect when they present it. It's amazing to see when you pull Testarossa, the same vintage.
That has a supercharger instead of a turbo on it?
no, it's twin turbo.
Twin turbo.
Excuse me, John. Thank you for your time.
Anytime.
Now, I do have two questions. With your permission, do you allow me to video record you in your car with my camera?
Absolutely.
And do you allow me to post a recorded video of you in your car onto YouTube.com?
Absolutely.
Thank you, John. Thank you for your time.